Okay, so this part should have been part of Stoichiometry part 6. However, I had to cut the video because I had audio problems as I go through the last part of this lecture. So instead, I'll give you a refresher for this one. During the previous video, I've already taught you how to convert from mole to mole and from mole to gram. And if you can still recall, I gave you two conversion factors to use. The first conversion factor is 1 mole of any substance is equal to its molecular mass in grams. Molecular weight, molecular mass, parehas lang po iyon. The second conversion factor is how you're going to convert from mole to another mole. Now, important things to remember whenever you use these conversion factors. The first one, this one, you use this when you convert from the mole of a compound to the gram of that same compound. What do I mean by that? Say for example, mole ni compound A, gusto mong makuha yung gram ni compound A. Or kaya mole ni compound B, gusto mong makuha yung gram ni compound B. So, dapat parehas yung compound kapag ginagamit mo itong first conversion factor. The second conversion factor is if you want to jump from the mole of one substance to another mole. What does that mean? So, if you want to convert from mole of A to the mole of B, or mole of B, ayan, let me erase that para mas malinaw, or from the mole of B to mole of A, or mole of C to mole of D. So, basically, you use this second conversion factor when you want to jump from a different compound to another compound. So, itong isa, ginagamit mo pag parehas yung compound. Dito, yung pangalawa, ginagamit mo pag magkaiba yung compound. So, in this part, I'm going to teach you how to convert from mass to mass. So, from gram to gram. Okay? So, class, here's the problem. So using the same chemical equation we have balance from the previous video, the question now is to calculate the mass of oxygen gas in grams that can be obtained from 46 grams of potassium chlorate. Okay, so let's write down the equation again here. So this time, ang tinatanong sa inyo is ilang grams nitong oxygen ang mapoproduce kung initially meron ka daw 46 grams ng potassium chlorate. So let's say that your potassium chlorate is your compound A and your oxygen is your compound B. So technically, ang gustong mangyari dito sa problem is from gram ni A, i-convert mo siya to gram ni B. Hanapin mo yung gram ni B. So, if you're going to look at our conversion factors, wala tayong conversion factor na from gram ni A papunta dun sa gram ng compound B. So, the first thing that you need to do here in order to solve this problem is to strategize. And how do you do that? Write first the unit that was given in the problem. So, in this problem, yung given sa atin na unit is gram. So, this gram is kanino tong gram na to? Kay potassium chlorate. At siya si compound A natin. So, you write here gram ng compound A. Now, class, since wala tayong straightforward na from gram to A to gram to B, tingnan mo kung ano yung common unit na meron dun sa dalawang conversion factors mo. And as you can see, the common unit that you're going to see here is mole. So the first thing that you need to do is to convert this gram of A to the mole of A. Gawin mo muna siyang mole. Para pag nasa mole na siya, nasa mole unit na siya, you can jump to mole of B. Kasi ang hinahanap mo is gram ni B. Eh, wala naman tayong conversion factor ni mole ni A, gagawin mong gram ni B. Di ba nga, whenever you use this conversion factor, it should be from the same compound. So this time, gawin muna natin tong mole ni B. So why did we use the mole-to-mole conversion? Because we are jumping from one compound to another compound. Now that you have reached the mole of B, can you now convert it to the gram of B? Yes, because it is now the same compound. You use this conversion factor when you convert the same compound. So mole of B, you can convert this to gram of B. Now class, palitan nyo na yung mga A's and B's para mas maging malinaw sa inyo kung kaninong compound yon. So compound A is potassium chlorate. So we write here, potassium chlorate, potassium chlorate. Compound B is oxygen. So let us replace the B's here to oxygen. Ayan. Oxygen, oxygen. Now that you have strategized how to go from one unit to another, write the conversion factors. So the first conversion factor here, it is gram, mole, mole, gram. Baliktad man yan or whatsoever. Parehas lang yan dito. Mole to gram, gram to mole. So this will be our first conversion factor. So 1 mole of potassium chlorate is equal to its molecular mass, which is 122.55 grams. So if you still haven't mastered yet how to get the molecular mass, please watch our video lecture regarding that again. Kasi you have to master that skill kasi uulit ng uulit yan, no? Uulit ng uulit as we go through our lectures. Okay? Next, so from gram to mole, you use this conversion factor. Take note ha, that when you use this first conversion factor, it is always 1 mole ha. Next, from mole to another mole. So you write here, the second conversion factor will be mole of potassium chlorate, it's equal to the mole of oxygen. And as I have mentioned from the previous video, whenever you use the mole-to-mole conversion factor, you always refer to the balanced chemical equation. Ano yung coefficient ni potassium chlorate? It's 2. Ano yung coefficient ni oxygen? It's 3. So you write here 2 for potassium chlorate and 3 for oxygen. The next conversion factor, this is the same compound already, and it is mole to gram. So we are going to use again the first conversion factor, which is 1 mole of any substance is equal to the grams of the same substance. Pwede mo na tong gamitin kasi parehas na yung compound. So in this case, parehas ng oxygen. So 1 mole of oxygen is equal to 32.00 grams. So, again, saan galing yung 32 grams? Galing po ito sa periodic table. Now, we calculated its molecular mass. So, again, if you haven't mastered yet, please rewatch the video. Now, class, now that you have all the sets of conversion factors that you need, the next step is to solve. And you would sasabihin nyo sa akin, Miss, hindi ko alam paano ako magsisimula. Whenever you solve problems in chemistry, you always start with the given numerical value. Ano yung binigay sa atin na numerical value sa problem? It's 46 grams of potassium chlorate. So you start from there. 46.0 grams of potassium chlorate. Okay, tip. Kung gaano kadami yung inyong conversion factor, ganun kadami yung parenthesis ninyo. So in this case, 3 yung ating conversion factors, 3 yung ating parenthesis. Kasi some students would say, Miss, tapos na ba? Ilang parenthesis ba? So kung ilan yung conversion factor ninyo, ganun kadami yung inyong parenthesis. So the first parenthesis will contain your first conversion factor. So we write here, grams sa baba. Bakit po? Para mag-cancel. Kung nalilito pa din kayo kung anong unit yung nandito, yun yung nasa baba. Sa taas, 1 mole of potassium chlorate. 1 mole of potassium chlorate. The second parenthesis will contain the second conversion factor, which is this one. Okay? So sa baba, sa ating numerator, is the 2 moles of potassium chlorate. Why? Bakit siya nasa baba? Kasi dito sa taas, sa ating numerator, dito sa first parenthesis, kay potassium chlorate yung mole. So, para mag-cancel, dapat yun yung nasa baba ngayon. Sa taas will be the 3 moles of oxygen. Next, the third parenthesis will contain this conversion factor. Sa baba will be the mole of oxygen. To cancel this out, sa taas yung ating desired unit, which is 32 grams. Now, you input this in your calculator. And once you input that in your calculator, you'll get 18.0 grams of oxygen. So what does your answer mean? That means that if you have 46 grams of potassium chlorate as your starting materials, you will produce 18 grams of your oxygen. Okay, class? So, napakadali lang niya, no? It's kind of tricky, sabi ko nga, but practice, no? Practice will make you master the calculations. So let me summarize the steps, no? Whenever you solve for stoichiometric problems, first check if the equation is balanced, the chemical equation is balanced. Next, strategized. Once you have what do you call this? Once you have figured out how to go from one unit to another, you write your conversion factors and then you solve. So it's as easy as that. Now, class, this one, you'll find this in every book, in every chemistry book. However, as you notice, I didn't discuss this to you kasi back then when I was still a student, I find it difficult to follow this diagram, and I have come up with this kind of strategy, yung tinuro ko sa inyo, this one. I suggest you do this one to give you a clear picture of how you're going to solve for stoichiometric problems. But basically, this diagram is just the same concept kung anong tinuro ko sa inyo. So it's just, say for example, you have a gram of substance A or mass of substance A. You want to convert it to the number of moles of your substance A. You use the molecular mass. And that is why I give you the conversion factor, these conversion factors. And if you want to convert from mole to mole, this is molar ratio or the mole to mole conversion factor that I gave you. And again, if you want to convert from mole to gram, you use the conversion factor I gave you, which is mole to gram. So basically, isulat ko dito yung conversion factors, no? If you want to go from grams ng substance to the number of moles, you use the conversion factor I gave you. 1 mole of any substance is equal to its molecular mass in grams. If you want to go from 1 mole to another mole, you use the conversion factor I taught you, which is mole of any substance is equal to the mole of another substance. And again, if you want to go from mole to the grams of another the grams of the same substance, ayan, you use the conversion factor 1 mole of any substance is equal to its molecular mass in grams. So that's it. It's very easy. So this one, try this on your own. Your facilitating teacher will solve this together with you during your asynchronous session. So this concludes the mass to mole relationships. So that's it. Have a good day.